Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well and enjoying the start of spring with more sunshine and warmer weather. By the way, today I'm recording with my new wireless mic that is here underneath my t-shirt. Let me know how is the sound, is it okay? I will test it and then we'll make a review video about it in the future. But today I want to share my experience and behind the scenes of a photo shoot I did for a music band in a castle. I decided to do this video because A, I had to drive 2 hours to reach the castle, which means I had to put lots of effort into that photo shoot besides the actual shoot, and B, I think we achieved some decent results. I used my Sony A7 Mark III camera and only one studio light for the shoot. So if you're interested, stick around. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Now that's all out of the way, let's begin. On that day, I had to wake up earlier than usual because I had to drive to the castle for 2 hours. The weather was quite grey and foggy, but it felt like winter was starting to fade away. I actually enjoy driving to other cities for work, but it usually happens during the summer when I shoot weddings. So I drive for about an hour or so and then work for at least 5 or 8 hours before heading home. This time I had to drive 2 hours one way just for about an hour of shooting and then drive 2 hours back home again. So I had to mentally prepare myself for more driving than actual work. Anyway, as always, I stopped for a coffee on the way, listened to my favorite music, and after those 2 hours I finally reached my destination. I know castle sounds fancy and big, but this one was quite small but had been renovated not long ago, so it looked really nice and cozy. Inside there is a museum and a small hall for venues. This time there was an event for elderly people who were dancing. The band that performs at weddings or similar venues was playing there, and they asked me to come and do a photo shoot for them since they would be in this castle, so I came for that. I didn't know what to expect in that castle, so I prepared and took with me a few lenses, including my Sigma 35mm f1.4, Sony 50mm f1.8 and Tamron Zoom 2875mm f2.8 lens. I brought the bright Sigma and Sony lenses in case I would shoot in daylight and need those bright apertures. For the Zoom Tamron, I took it in case I would shoot with my studio light and wouldn't need such a bright aperture. As for the studio light, I brought along one Quadralight Atlas 600 Studio Flash, which has the main advantage of being wireless and working off battery. To attach to the studio flash, I brought an 85 octabox, which I thought would fit in that environment and won't be too big for it. After looking around, I decided to shoot with the studio light since there wasn't enough daylight inside. I prepared my setup being Sony A7 Mark III with Tamron 2875 f2.8 zoom lens while the band was rehearsing. There were 3 band members, a woman who sings, another guy who plays concertina or accordion, I don't know how to properly call it in English, so sorry for that, and a third person who played the drums. In these photos on the screen you can see how I tried different arrangements for the band members. Since I only had one flash, I couldn't place the guys further behind the singer because they wouldn't get enough light. So I experimented with bringing the guys closer to make them appear brighter. Then I tried to have them sit near the singer, but it felt awkward for all 3 of them. Also, they didn't look like a cohesive band in that arrangement. Next, I asked them to stand near the singer with their instruments, but the concertina player looked too big while standing, so I asked him to sit. Then I tried having the singer stand up, but she appeared taller than the drummer, so I asked her to sit again. And here is the final edited image from that part of the photo shoot. Anyway, we started to shoot and it was a tricky process. First of all, it was Saturday and besides all the participants of the venue, there were other people visiting the museum. So we had to shoot in those corners where people wouldn't get into the frame. Also, I had to find spots without any exhibits being in the frame. I started with some images of the whole band together, and while I was shooting and getting okay results, I wasn't entirely happy with them yet. I was thinking about what I could improve to get better results. While shooting the singer in the doorway, I noticed a chandelier hanging from the ceiling in the next room. I thought I might try to use its ambient light in my images. So I slowed down my camera shutter speed to capture more ambient light behind the model. Additionally, while shooting, I made slight movements with the camera so the ambient light would blur. The results I got were just amazing. That movement and the blur were what I was missing to add that extra touch to the images. And then I showed the example to the singer to make sure she liked it. If I had made the decision on my own after the photo shoot, she might have thought something was wrong with the images because of the blur. But when she saw the example, she got excited too because she liked the look and vibe of the photo. So we kept shooting this way. We did the entire photo shoot in just one room using different corners of it. First I took group pictures, then a few separate images of the musicians, and the rest of the time I shot the singer in her different outfits that she brought with her that day. First, let's take a look at images of the drummer. Here is a simple black and white picture, but as soon as I added movement to the camera, the images, in my opinion, came alive. I shot it with the ISO 200, aperture 4.5 and the shutter at 1/20th, which allowed me to create that blur and make the images more interesting. Despite wearing a formal suit, the drummer looked cool, as drummers always do. Next up was the concertina player. He was kind of a big and serious guy who wasn't excited about this photo shoot, but agreed to pose for some photos. I started with some simple images with the instrument, asking him to smile and sometimes to be more serious. As he has this big instrument, I tried various images with him holding the instrument while standing, sitting, and just keeping the instrument on the chair. Then I shot some images with blur as well. This time we closed the door behind him because there were people in the next room, so there wasn't enough ambient light to create much blur, but still you can see some movements captured. I asked him to imitate like he was playing, and we did a few pictures like that. The last one is the one I like the most. Then the singer changed into this blue dress and I shot with her. You know, it is always a pleasure to shoot confident women because they enjoy being photographed too, and it makes a great combination for a great shooting process. So next time, if you want to make your photo shoot go even better, make sure that your model feels confident. These are some shots with her in that blue dress. Then she went to change her outfit again, and we took some shots between two windows. Also a few shots with her sitting on a translucent chair. Finally, she changed into her last outfit, this green dress, and we did some shots with her peeking through the doors. Again, in part because we had to hide people in the next room. But I think with that blur, images look great and gives that feel that the model moves through the doors and not just standing. To finish off the photoshoot, I took some group images, again some without blur, just in case, and some with. And oh boy, do I like those images with blur so much. I kept shooting with that blur effect, but from time to time I would take some shots with less or no blur at all, so the band would have the option to choose from blurred images and those without blur. Of course, I was hoping they would prefer the images with blur more. For the entire shoot I used only one studio light. It was usually placed to my right side and at 45-degree angle from the models. I kept it to my right side because the singer said she liked that her side better, so my main light had to be there. Overall, this photoshoot was a blast. We got carried away and didn't notice that we spent more than 1 hour shooting, and it was soon time for the band to go on stage and perform. After we finished the shoot, I packed my gear and left to drive back home, which again took 2 hours. In the end, I am very happy with the results we got. It is always a bit stressful to go to a location where you never have been before and need to provide good results. But after trying a few ideas, I finally found the solution that not only I was happy with, but the band also. And that's the most important thing in the whole photoshoot, for the client to be happy with the results. It feels nice after working as a photographer for nearly a decade with all that experience to be able to find the solution on the spot in new environments. Although I had been avoiding the museum's exhibits throughout the photoshoot, I now think we could have actually used them. Maybe we could have posed around them to make even more interesting shots. But at the time I didn't have enough time to think through and plan how we could interpret those types of shots. So even though the photoshoot went well, there are still things to learn even after a decade working as a photographer. And it also feels nice to know there is still room to grow as a professional, which I think is very important and the only way to stay relevant as time goes by. I hope you liked this video of my photoshoot behind the scenes and learned something new from it. If you have any thoughts or questions, write them in the comments below, as I always try to answer as much as I can. Also let me know if you'd like to see more behind the scene photoshoot videos from me. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you don't miss my future videos, but for now, have a nice day and keep shooting!